Hello golfers, John Dunigan coming at you with Carside Coaching. Let's talk variability. I've said previously that we should be great drivers of the golf ball. Yes, the tolerance is tighter because the golf ball is going so much farther with the driver, but the fact is you can put the tee the same height every time. You can pretty much play the exact same shot every single time. Maybe you have to have a ball that draws and a ball that doesn't draw much, or a ball that fades and a ball that doesn't fade much. But you don't have to make the driver do all kinds of stuff. That's craziness. But let's talk about the variability of the golf course. The problem with golf is that once you hit the ball off the tee, you're never going to hit the same shot twice in a row. Never, ever, ever. So what you've got to do is you've got to be a master of looking at the way the ball lay on the ground. I have the answer to this. And folks, the problem is you cannot try to figure this out in the middle of a round of golf. You need to scrimmage on that golf course. And when you do that, will you please stop giving yourself a perfect lie? I cannot tell you how many times I see a student, I go, would you like a tee for that golf ball? They're in practice, maybe on the short game area, or I'll throw them in the rough on downhill lies, side hill above their feet lie, downhill lies below their feet. On the range, I find them around the range. All ranges have these, because that's what's coming on the golf course. And if you're talking about preparing for battle, if the only thing you're preparing is a perfect lie, you are in a heap of trouble when this round gets going, because you haven't practiced any of the shots you're going to need. Furthermore, think about this variability. I have a whole bunch of kids that are in the high school college range that hit 6-iron 200 yards. And I say to them, "Ooh, that's nice. That's long, huh?" Yeah. Well, how often are you at 200 yards? And they'll say, and I go, "Huh. All right, so how much of your time are you spending hitting the golf ball those variable distances where you're 195 or 190 yards?" Is the answer I get. So you're not preparing the shots you need to play golf. You're not calibrating all your shots, to go back to one of my favorite words. Well, then they find out that there's a reason why they're not scoring as low as they could, because they really are going to the golf course unprepared. I was down at TPC Sawgrass this week and with Mr. O'Hare, and had a chance to hit some balls in the Swing Catalyst, my force plate that I have. They had a area they were capturing some pro swings, and it was a 105-yard shot, and I only had a pitching wedge. And man, it was so hard for me to hit that shot, because it's way out of my wheelhouse for how soft to hit a pitching wedge. That is a 56-degree club, right? And my wedges go 60, 55, 50, right? So I'm 2 clubs too much, and I really had no clue how to hit the shot. Isn't that funny? Couldn't come up with it because I never ever practiced it. So with this inherent variability, the lie's different, the wind is different, the hole's in a different place. We got to have some way of practicing and preparing for this. Okay, so I want you to use your driving range differently, and I want you to start what I call scrimmage practice. Get out on the golf course late. Hit a couple extra shots into the greens from different lies. Sometimes do the same lie twice in a row. Now, when you do that, if you take a divot, I want the next ball to be on the back of that divot, so it looks like you just have one divot after doing that. Otherwise, you're going to tear up the golf course. So be respectful to the superintendent and the rest of the folks, but practice these things on the golf course. Practice for every possible thing that can happen to you, because guess what? It's coming, folks. If you haven't learned that yet, it's coming. Anything can happen on a golf course. Okay, hit them great. Dunigan out.